For unto us is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. Those are some of the best words that anyone who's ever lived on this planet or ever will live on this planet will ever hear. And so I want to wish you a Merry Christmas today, and I hope that everything is going well for you and for your family. Christmas at Midwest Sportsnet, we've enjoyed a good time with family today, and it's going to be a Christmas week for us, getting all the kids now. I don't know, for some of you all who know me, I have 5 kids, and getting them all in the same place at the same time nowadays is a little bit more difficult than it once was, but we're happy to get to be a part of it and thankful to get to be a part of what you're doing. So I would just humbly encourage you, if you're watching this on the live stream today, let me know from where you are watching today, and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. A couple of things to talk about. There's been a lot going on in the world of small college sports in the last 2 or 3 days. One of the things that caught my attention early on this week, and hat tip to Pat over at Analyze and Educate, who made me aware of something late Monday night. And so I wanted to bring that out there. If you did not know already, congratulations to Coach Joe Woodley, who is taking the head coaching position at Drake, which is just right there in Des Moines. I mean, this is what a fantastic move on so many levels for him. First off, props to him for winning a national championship and going out in style, undefeated with the Grandview Vikings this year. Jackson Waring, the NAIA Player of the Year, the Offensive Player of the Game in the championship game. I mean, things just went well for the Vikings all year long, but it wasn't just a matter of breaks. It was a matter of hard work. It was a matter of preparation. It was a matter of effort, time, dedication, sacrifice, and all that goes into something like that. So congratulations to Coach Woodley, and he will be moving on to an NCAA Division I, an FCS position as the head football coach at Drake. Now, still working with the voice, sorry. I will give you a programming note really quickly. Would have been on a couple of days sooner. The voice was not as good, but all of this was really not good. So with the encouragement of Mrs. Midwest Sportsnet, no, I did not come on and, and go from there. But anyway, Division I program in the NCAA, so props to him. And we wish him well. Obviously, we're not done following him. Excuse me. Cough drop time. Oh, almost got away. We're not done following Coach Woodley and all that he has going on. So shout out to him. And that means that there is a new NAIA position that is open, the head coaching position there at Grandview. We also got word at the start of this week that there is another change in NAIA from the position of a head football coach, Coach Julian Mendez stepping out as the head coach of the William Woods Owls. It was the first season last year, and the Owls went 1-10, but props to Coach Mendez for getting the Owls to their first victory as a program. And he is moving to take a position with the staff at NCAA Division II Washburn. So Sam Camp, who's been the offensive coordinator there in the infancy stage of William Woods football program, has been tabbed to take the head coaching position there. So congratulations to Coach Camp. And I wanted to look down the list too. We know for sure that there are going to be, at least at this point in time, and the calendar hasn't turned yet, at least 8 positions in which there are first-year head coaches, 8 programs. Bethel in Kansas, Bethel in Tennessee, in which Chris Springer has been named the interim head coach there. Grandview, nobody's taken that spot just yet. Kansas Wesleyan, Coach Matt Middleton, is coming in and coming over from Harding to take that spot. Rio Grande, Quincy Wilson is the head coach there, and it'll be his first year as head coach, as that program is just getting started. And Sterling, no head coach named there yet. William Woods, Sam Camp, the head coach there as well. The other news of the weekend, and I'll slow down a little bit too, maybe my voice will hold on for another 5 minutes, is that because of a preliminary injunction in the court system, which was news dropped for us about this, Diego Pavia, who is the quarterback for Vanderbilt this season. Now, you may remember Diego Pavia. Some of you probably had heard his name before, but his name really bounced onto the national scene when Vanderbilt upended Alabama there in Nashville And it was a big, big win. First win for Vanderbilt over Alabama in 40 years. Diego Pavia, the quarterback who led the Commodores to the victory, he had used all of his eligibility, or so it had seemed. And a preliminary injunction by district court has said that Diego Pavia should be able to have some time back because 2 of his years were played at New Mexico Military Institute, not an NCAA school. I get it. Hey, Stephen, thank you for stopping by, and Merry Christmas to you tonight, too. God bless you, sir. So he went to court, got a preliminary injunction, not necessarily a court setting, but the judge said, hey, he should be able to do this. The NCAA is appealing the injunction, but really hasn't fought back that much. And let me read to you one of the notes that has gone out from the NCAA Board of Directors since that time. The NCAA Division I Board of Directors granted a waiver to permit student athletes who attended and competed at non-NCAA schools for more than one or more years to remain eligible and compete in 25-26 if those students would have otherwise used their final season of competition during the 24-25 academic year. Goes on to say a lot of other things, but it provides for me more questions than it does answers. And in essence, what it is saying is that Pavia should not have used up all his eligibility because he competed at a non-NCAA school. That's fine. When the injunction first came out, it was vague like that it was vague like that for a day. Then the NCAA Division I, now again, I'm stressing this, Division I Board of Directors said what it said just then, that if you've used time at a non-NCAA school for the calendar year, the academic 24-25 year, if that would have been your last year and you want to continue, you're going to be granted another year of eligibility. Now, let's break this thing down and talk about what does this mean? Which, by the way, again, Merry Christmas to everyone tonight, and please let me know from where you're watching. Here are my questions, and I present them to you without answers because we're still at the outset of this particular portion of the journey. Small college sports is going to be affected by this, but it is the Division I level of Board of Directors that has issued the statement saying that student athletes at the Division I level would have an extra year if that athlete, whoever it may be, has spent time at what they said was a non-NCAA school, and you were going to use your eligibility up in 24-25, you get one more year. First, my question was, before it was answered by the Division I Board of Directors, would this apply just to Pavia? They've since given out the statement, no, student athletes. Number two, does it matter what sport? Is it just football? Apparently, according to this note, it doesn't matter. Student athletes in any sport that play on the Division I level who've had eligibility that would have been run out, they'd used part of it on the JUCO level, still have it. My next question is a big one. And this is where I think everyone has to answer this question with a couple of things in mind. What exactly does non-NCAA mean? Does non-NCAA mean simply JUCO? I realize in this instance, and the NJCAA, the National Junior College Athletic Association, they've already issued their statement. We understand that. We support it. We welcome any opportunity to take part in discussions as to what something like this is going to mean. But does it just mean JUCO? It doesn't say. It says non-NCAA school. Does it mean NAIA? If you've used your NAIA years up and they're all done, but you've competed, you've moved on to a Division I school, and now, does that affect you too? It doesn't say. And my question here, and the reason I ask this is because I think you have to look at it from a couple of different perspectives. Number one, it's overwhelmingly vague. Why is it vague? Is it vague for a reason? Or did somebody just rush through this statement to get it out and in a timely manner because they know they're going to appeal the preliminary injunction, which they have already, I believe. I don't know if they have already. They're going to. The NCAA is going to for sure. Is it vague on purpose, or number two, is it vague because somebody made a mistake? I think I took the reverse order there. Let's go back to the beginning. Is it vague because somebody made a mistake? Did they rush through it? Did they try to get a statement out so quickly that they just simply said non-NCAA, not realizing that there's more than one national affiliation, and of course there's the USCAA and there's the NCCAA and and a couple of other national affiliations there. On this program and on this channel, we concentrate on NCAA Division II and NAI. There are levels that have more similarities, I think, than differences, and there's a lot that can be done on that level. Was that vague statement by accident? The other part of the question, number two, was the vague statement on purpose? I have to think that the people who are in charge of these billion-dollar contracts with major television networks to provide college football, college basketball, college softball, and more have to know what they're saying before they craft something together to put it out onto the internet, because as we all know, the internet's forever. And you can't take something back. They're already walking a thin line right now as to being able to say that. I mean, you're looking at athletes that will be competing, if this goes through, being not just 22, but 23 with a redshirt year, and now possibly 24 or 25 years old, literally making a living off of their college athletic, if they are able to find an NIL deal. And the difference between a grown man that's 25 years old and a young man that's 18 years old is huge. And this is going to have an effect all the way through. And I wonder about that, because now, if non-NCAA schools means beyond just JUCOs, which I know, please, I'm saying this again and again, I understand that this is what it's meant for, but it's not what they said. If a non-NCAA school is an NAIA school, does that mean 4 years of eligibility there don't really count toward getting your first NCAA opportunity, and you have to use those 4 years in a 5-year period? Does that make the difference there? And if you've gone to JUCO, does it make a difference for NAI? Those are questions that have to be asked. We don't have the answers for them yet, but it's something we'll definitely follow along here on Midwest Sportsnet. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Please leave a note in the chat or the comments section, and let me know what you think, and we'll follow along this journey together. I wanted to just visit with you a little bit tonight, talk about that. It's been on my mind. I couldn't let it go anymore. Really had to get on the air tonight, even though I know that the voice isn't quite back, but it will be. Other news of the week, by the way, in Division II women's basketball, Olivia Reed now has the season high in points scored. Reed from Colorado Mines scored 45 points earlier this week against Pitt State. And a shout out, by the way, to NAIA's Alex Littlejohn from Kansas Wesleyan University. He broke the career field goals record for the Coyotes, surpassing Gary Cassell's 586, and that was set back in 1955. So a record that stood for nearly 70 years now has been broken. Congratulations to Alex Littlejohn from Kansas Wesleyan University for that. We have a lot more to talk about here on Midwest Sportsnet, so please follow along. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do that. We would appreciate that. We're definitely wanting to grow the channel. More talk about small college sports and more throughout the Midwest and beyond right here on Midwest Sportsnet. In the meantime, I sure do appreciate getting to visit with all of you all tonight. Just want to wish you a Merry Christmas one more time and say thank you so much for stopping by the channel. God bless you all. We will see you again very, very soon.